Erik Ten Hag tells Mason Greenwood chances of Man Utd return in private phone call. Erik Ten Hag has reportedly told Mason Greenwood that his hopes of a return to the Manchester United first team rest firmly with the club, not him. The Dutchman is understood to have held his first formal conversation with the 21-year-old forward since he was cleared of charges of attempted rape and assault by the Crown Prosecution Service on February 2nd. Greenwood remains suspended by the Red Devils, and there are now doubts as to whether he will be allowed to return to Old Trafford, having not featured for the club since January 2022. Nonetheless, The Sun are reporting that Ten Hag was keen to touch base with Greenwood to establish how he is feeling following the sequence of events. Ten Hag is yet to work with the highly rated forward since replacing Ralf Rangnick, but he was seemingly keen to provide clarity for Greenwood on exactly where he stands. A source detailed a personal phone call between the pair, telling The Sun Mason has spent a long time with very little, if any, contact from the club. As in when they were in touch, it was never direct and always through a third party. So for the manager to call him was a big step for him and one he really appreciated. The manager inquired how he was feeling physically and mentally and said he was pleased the charges had been dropped. He thought it was the right thing to do to get in touch with Mason, but he was clear it will be the club rather than him which will decide if Mason can play for United again. Manchester United are keen to take their time before making any decision over the future of Greenwood, knowing they could be faced with huge scrutiny if they allow him to return. The Red Devils are conducting their own internal investigation to form part of their decision, which could arrive anytime between now and the end of the season. United said in a club statement published last week, Manchester United notes the decision of the Crown Prosecution Service that all charges against Mason Greenwood have been dropped. The club will now conduct its own process before determining next steps. We will not make any further comment until that process is complete. Reports suggest some of United's senior players are against the idea of Greenwood returning to the fold. A number of the club's first-team squad unfollowed Greenwood on social media platforms following his initial arrest in early 2022. Greenwood's current contract, worth around £100,000 per week, is due to run until June 2025. The England international has since been dropped by Nike and was also removed from the video game FIFA last year. Earlier this week, Nike confirmed they had no plans to re-establish their former partnership with Greenwood after the charges were dropped. In other news, Manchester United have already told Marcel Sabitzer they are open to signing him permanently in the summer transfer window. United of course signed Sabitzer on the final day of the January window in response to the injury suffered by Christian Eriksen. The Dane is out for months, with Donny van de Beek also sidelined until next season and Scott McTominay also battling with injury. Then, Casemiro got sent off and suspended for 3 games, meaning Sabitzer was thrown in at the deep end, starting against Leeds on Wednesday night. ESPN report that United are open to buying Sabitzer from Bayern Munich, although there is nothing formal in his loan agreement in terms of an option or obligation. They say that Erik Ten Hag is hoping that the prospect of a permanent Old Trafford move will motivate Sabitzer between now and the end of the season. The same goes for Wout Weghorst, with United open to buying both of their outfield January loan signings in the summer. Jack Butland also came in temporarily, but the goalkeeping situation is more complicated by David De Gea's contract situation and the potential to bring in a stopper who is better with his feet. The report claims that Sabitzer is expected to leave permanently in the summer, and if he impresses for United between now and then, it would be a no-brainer to sign him. Ten Hag transformed United's midfield during his first summer in charge, bringing in Casemiro and Eriksen. But there is still more work to do. Fred's contract situation needs sorting, while McTominay attracted interest from Newcastle in January and Van de Beek has also failed to impress. A low-cost deal for Sabitzer to boost squad depth may make sense for all parties, but we need longer to judge him at this stage. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.